I'm joined by Sarah Ferguson to talk about senior women's lacrosse in Nanaimo. And I guess, first of all, season's well underway. A few games. How are the senior Timbermen playing this year?
Yes, Dan, they're doing really well, actually. We have had a few games against Victoria. I feel like a lot of people came back to try it for a second time, and we're growing a lot together as a senior women league as a whole in BC. But for Nanaimo, we actually have 25 women carded on the team, and we actually have a wait list for next year. So it's doing really well.
Talk about the league itself. You said you play a lot of Victoria games, obviously the island rivalries. But, how big is the league? How many teams do you play, and how long is the season?
So the season is a regular box lacrosse season, about 3 months long. There's about 3 other mainland teams right now at the moment. There's one in New West, Port Moody, and Ridge Meadows. And the other 2 are the island teams. That's why we play Victoria so often, is because we're the only 2 on the island, so we get a lot of games against each other in.
Provincials is coming up in July. What does that tournament look like? Maybe talk a bit about what it was last year and what provincials will look like when they happen in July, I think in New West.
So last year, so it is in New West this year, and it actually is just basically all the teams play a round-robin tournament, and they end up playing gold, silver, bronze. There isn't actually medals or anything. It's just kind of a year-end tournament to get all the women's teams together and to finalize saying this is the end of our season. And I believe that there's a lot of players actually interested in playing in it this year.
What's the relationship like? Because there's the junior Timbermen, and then there's the women's team, and I would assume that there's maybe a transitional time as a lot of those juniors that are finishing maybe want to move up and play senior. What's the relationship like between those 2 teams?
Well, we definitely try to pick them up pretty quick as soon as they start to graduate from junior. But we actually have 2 women that just graduated junior last year come up to senior women this year, and next year I believe we have about 5 or 6. So we try to get them pretty quick, keep the ball rolling, and getting senior women growing really quick.
Aside from the senior women, and we talked about the junior girls as well, what are some of the other female opportunities that are happening in Nanaimo? Because I think you've got teammates that are involved in some of those.
Yeah, so a lot of female programs are happening on the island. So right now, a teammate of mine, Claire Palmer, she's one of our goalies. Her and I just started Island Style Lacrosse, which is a U18 female field team. We're trying to get a travel team over to Vancouver. Just give opportunities for younger athletes and more like budget-friendly opportunities so that they don't have to go over to the mainland all the time, that they can do something here on the island. They also have a couple like Raiders Field. They've got box lacrosse women's programs going on in Victoria. I don't know a lot about that in Victoria, but I know that they are trying to get a girls program going more often outside of the box season, in the off season. But yeah, it's going pretty well.
On your team, do you have to really have gone through minor and junior to be skilled enough to play, or can there be some athletes, just gifted athletes from other sports, that can make that transition?
No, we actually had 6 new lacrosse players last year on our women's team, and they were all hockey players. So they came first year in. One of the players that we have, this is her 2nd year back. She actually runs our team, Cynthia Houle. She runs our team. This is her 2nd year back, and she was a hockey player. Brand new to lacrosse, had the best time ever, and just keeps coming back.
What's the commitment like? Because obviously you've got a 3-month season, but between practices and games, what kind of a commitment is it for the women on the team?
For senior women, we only do practices about once a week. It's Wednesday nights. Come whenever you can, and it's a pretty good commitment. We get a pretty big turnout, and we have about 1 game every weekend, but right now we're usually playing against Victoria because we can get to them easily, they can get to us easily, and then we play about 3 games against the mainland teams.
Talk about the coaches that you have, because coaching is a huge part of any team. So talk about your coaches and just the importance of it.
So we actually have our 2 main head coaches are Aaron Vanderhorst and Mike Mon. Mike Mon's actually the head coach of the Senior B Timbermen, and they help out whenever they can. They volunteer their time to come to every practice, every game. They give back to us so much, and I know that they teach us a lot, especially for the women who don't know the game very well. They really give us a lot of time and of their own effort to make sure that we do well in this season.
When it comes to games around the region, you don't just play at Frank Crane. So for your home games, what arenas do you guys go to?
We go to the Nanaimo Ice Center. In the past, we have gone to Oceanside in Parksville, but most of the time we are here at the Nanaimo Ice Center or here at Frank Crane.
when it comes to having something like this, it's great to see across a lot of sports. It used to be you're 21, you're 22, and that's it for organized sports in a lot of cases. But, whether we're talking about lacrosse or soccer or hockey, there's a lot more opportunities now for kind of 22 plus. What does it mean to have an organized team sport, as an adult instead of just having it for kids?
So we basically all thought after we aged into junior girls that we were done playing lacrosse forever. It's either you coach or you go play in university, and that's it. It wouldn't be possible without women like Savannah Smith. She's out of New Westminster. She runs the whole BC Senior Women's Lacrosse League, and she makes it possible for all to have games against each other, and all of us to be out of university and out of junior girls lacrosse. We get to play games, we get to coach, we get to be able to travel. Here on the island, I know that Kelsey Theedum, Madison Gates, and Cynthia Houle make it possible for us to be able to play senior women's and keep it going for the next generation to keep going, because I know a lot of junior girls look up to us and they're like, oh, I can actually play when I graduate from junior, and that hasn't happened for 10 years.
You talked about it, that obviously younger players are going to look up to you. So are you able to give back as mentors, as coaches, working on skills at all with younger girls as well?
Yes, we try to give back as much as we can and try to support the community as much as we can. We actually went to the NDLA home opener this year to try to support and get our name out there, that this is what all the girls that are even starting when they're 4 years old playing lacrosse, this is what you can play when you're older. There is a spot for you to play.
What has the fan support been like, and are you able to keep growing that fan support?
It's crazy. We get a lot of girls and women out there that are cheering their hearts out, and it's absolutely amazing. But we also get a lot of lacrosse parents that thought that their kid was done playing, but now here's me as a 24-year-old. My parents are so excited to come out and watch me play again.
What's the future hold? It's now year 2. Is it year 3? And is being the best team in the league, is winning that provincial tournament, are those things that are on everybody's mind? Is it about being a championship level group, or is it just the fact that, hey, this is something we're able to do, we want to keep this going just because of the beauty of the sport?
Obviously, we're all lacrosse players and we're all athletes, so we love to be competitive, but it's not about winning a full gold medal or a big trophy at the end. It's all about bringing together women in sports, especially how women in sports is blowing up so much around the world. And the Olympics just started with lacrosse, and that's going to be in 2028, and the Sixes, and women's sports is just doing so amazing that it's all just about bringing women together in lacrosse.
Is there any thoughts to maybe bringing something similar to the field game in Nanaimo, or right now is it about box?
Right now, we actually have some things in the making. A few of my teammates and I would love to bring something to field, but we need the traction, and we need enough kids to sign up, and we need people to realize how good women in sports and women in lacrosse is to be able to bring a female aspect of the game.
All right, Sarah, I'll let you go. Thanks so much for this.
Thank you.